Hopefully this is working. I'm having nothing but trouble with the internet today. It's been working fine all day long on the phone, but then all of a sudden it just decided it didn't want to stay connected. So hopefully I am live. The weather outside is absolute garbage. I'll wait to see a couple of comments down below to see whether or not you guys are getting audio and video. If so, please let me know. I would greatly appreciate it. I tried to get all kinds of stuff going on and it just didn't want to work today. I am this close to getting Starlink. I am this close to just saying, get it. Marcus says hello. I don't want to jump back up to the top and say hi to everybody until I know that you guys are actually seeing me. Yes, both the audio and video. Cool. I'm looking. It looks like I'm still connected. If I lose the connection, we might do it from the phone. And if we do it from the phone, I'll take it outside and I'll show you where I'm at with the woodshed. So hopefully, we'll see. Everybody saying hi to everybody else in here. Hello, Sean and everyone. And normally I start it with like the 30-second countdown, and I couldn't get anything to work today. So, audio, video, got them both? Let me know. I don't know what the delay is on this either. I see Karen saying hello. I guess it's working. I don't know. I mean, my system looks like it's working. I'm seeing the chat go on the side. It's working. Good video and sound. Okay, Barbara says. Good. Thank you, Barbara. Anyway, I'm Sean in Alaska. I told you guys I would go live if the weather got crappy. Last weekend we had really nice weather. Yes. Looks like we're back. I got the phone in hand here, so hopefully everything's working. Let me jump back up to the top. Like I said, if this becomes an issue, I'll just go to the phone, and then we'll walk outside and I'll show you a few things, a few updates on where we at. You guys will all get a sneak peek. Let me do a banner real quick here. Sunrise is at 8:24 a.m. Sunsets at 7:22 p.m. We're losing the light fast now. Today's high will be 54 with a low of 39 tonight. Those are both Fahrenheit. Work continues on the shed build. I'm about 4 videos ahead of what you guys have seen so far right now. I'm rocking and rolling on this thing, and I got a ton of content, which was super awesome. When I took that week vacation, it really made a huge difference for me. I got way ahead, and believe me, in the world of YouTube, getting way ahead is a beautiful thing. We'll jump up here to the top because I like to say hello to everybody. Charles and Annalyn, it is awesome to see you guys from the Philippines. Glad you could pop in today. Christy, I saw you guys were on vacation. Awesome. It is great to see you. I hope you and Steve are having a great time in North Carolina. Very cool. And my weather is absolutely garbage right now. I mean, it's not bad, right? It could be worse. It could be below zero. Beto, good to see you, my friend. Glad you could make it today. Scrolling. Squeeze me. Awesome to see you, my friend. It is awesome to always have you come by. Brenda Jones, welcome. Glad you could pop in today. Marcus, welcome, my friend. It is great to see you. Penny, glad you can make it today. Awesome to have you from Michigan. John's Touchpad, welcome, my friend. Glad to have you today. Renee, awesome to see you as well. Chris, thank you, and awesome to see you, my friend. Karen, glad to see you today. Glad you could make it. Hope your weekend's going well. It's the end of the weekend now. I really want to keep the signal because I got a couple of things I want to show you. All right. I'm not going to play this game. So I have you guys live, which just means I'm not going to be able to. Let me shut the computer down here. Leave. Okay. Let's see what I can do here. I haven't used the phone version in a while, guys. So give me a second. Give me a second to figure this out. Oh, there we go. I'm fully screened now. Karen, how are you doing? Linda Lipstick Lodge, how are you doing today? Okay, what do I got here? Get that off there. Scotty's Backyard Barbecue. I know Scotty's way behind on his content. All right, so I guess what we're going to do instead is I'll take you guys for a quick walkthrough. Let me see if I can get this do what I want it to do. Hang on. I could scroll back up here and I could say hello to a few people that I missed. I got Barb, I got Penny. Old School Alaska, awesome to have you here, my friend. Glad you can make it today. Mountain Mariner, awesome to see you, my friend. Madunanda, awesome to see you as well. Glad you could be here today. It's kind of tough navigating the chat with my fingers here, too. Saw Scotty. Saw Linda. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see me with this. I thought there was a way that I could do it this way. I don't know if I can make the camera turn around, can I? Up. Well, I guess tell me if you're hearing the audio and the video right now. That would be greatly appreciated. We'll head outside here. And of course, it's raining. So we'll go into. First, we'll take a walk down to the garden. We'll say hi to the chickens first. How's that sound? As you can see, they're going into molt. Raining out here like a mad dog. They're all coming to the fence because they want a treat. The yard looks like a disaster. Oh, thank you, Karen. Greatly appreciate that. The yard looks like a disaster because I need to get everything in the shed. We'll do the shed bit of the tour last. We'll take a walk down to the garden here. I'll show you where we're at, even though most of it's pretty much gone. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Only reason why the hood's up, it's not because it's cold, it's because it's raining out here right now. So the garden, I did pretty well with the potatoes. They're coming up in the next one of the next videos, in a couple of videos, but they are all harvested. So the potato bed is completely empty. The onions I had an issue with because well, Sean's an idiot. So and the onions were a test, but I've harvested. Here's the onion bed. I've harvested a bunch. There's still some left that haven't fallen over yet, and onions are okay to leave in the ground, even when we have a couple of freezes, as long as they're not too hard of a freeze. So I'm leaving the last ones in there for right now. What else can I show you? I had a tree that was splitting in a video. I still haven't even cleaned that up yet. So that is right there. It's dead, so I figured I'd just buck it up and toss it in the woodshed when I get to that point. I picked up some windows from a neighbor, and they're going to be part of next year's big build, which will be adding a bedroom onto the cabin. And those are right there. And this whole area right here, I had cleared when the Dirt Fairy Todd showed up so that I could start working on an outdoor kitchen. I'd like to build an outdoor kitchen right over in, where are we at here? Right over in this area. But that is probably not going to happen next year. I mean, you know, unless Sean wins some kind of a lottery. See what we got here. Uh-oh. That was on me. I hit the wrong button. Sorry. I also had this little area cleared up here because from the day that I first got this property, originally I looked at this area up here for, you know, maybe popping the small cabin on. Then I decided I wanted something bigger. And, you know, while we don't have a lot of codes, we do have a few rules, and you can't get too close to the road. So instead, what I've decided is this whole area up here is going to end up being a greenhouse, and I am going to build that this spring. I'm going to build it right on top of the ground, so that I don't have to worry about, you know, sonotubes and everything else with it, because the whole idea behind it is going to be nothing more than to you know, grow tomatoes and stuff that I can't grow on a regular garden. I don't know if I know I haven't walked you guys over. We're gonna save the shed for last year. I don't know if I've walked you guys over and showed you the area that was cleared when we had the property line dispute. Now that the property lines are all settled, I'll take you for a walk over to there. We have the S word in the forecast for the 19th of October, which is the first time I've seen any kind of prediction for snow. And I've got a lot of stuff left to do as far as cleanup goes to be ready for that, especially with, you know, finishing up some things on the shed I need to finish up. But the main thing is cleaning the property up. I'm trudging through the forest right now. And I know I can't really hit a lot of the comments until I stop walking. I'll kind of scroll back and look and see what I can see. But for right now, I just wanted to take you guys for the walk. So next to that container is an orange marker. And that orange marker, everything on this side of that orange marker on this side of that container is mine. Then there's another orange marker right here, but I think this one got moved. It's pretty close to where it should be, but this is all my property that got leveled when they came in and did all the dirt work. Now, you know, like I said when I did that video, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't really, you know, it doesn't bother me that much. I'm glad that I got everything organized and squared away so that, you know, me and the new neighbor had a chance to meet. And now I know exactly where my property lines are, and I go way back there. But measuring this out the other day, because he cleared so much property here, I'm looking at Joseph. What's happening, Joe? I'm looking at putting a couple of solar panels right here. The cabin is right there. This is 53 feet from where I'm standing right now to the corner of that cabin. So I just ordered extra lines for the solar panels, and I can build those when I get them here. But I'm going to pop a couple of panels here because having all of those trees down gives me some great sunlight throughout the winter. So hopefully we can reduce the need for generator power. I have only run the generator one time since I installed the new panels in this entire year so far. So I think that was like a week or two ago. And I ended up running it for like 3 hours. And then the next day I was full sunshine again. Get over here where it's kind of clear. Wipe off my phone. There we go. All right. So where am I at with the woodshed now compared to what you've seen in videos? I'm a lot further. Next week, you'll see that I have started the siding, and I did that before I did the purlins because it was a bit shaky up there. And then the video after that will be purlins. Then the video after that will be roof. And the reason why I know this, and if you remember, you will have already seen it, is because I already have the roof on. So I'm not really freaking out weather-wise right now, because I know that the inside will be dry and that the roof is installed. I have a couple of pieces of trim left to put on there. I need to put the trim on the eaves on the top edge here, on this side and on the other side, and I need to put the trim on the very top up there. But we're going to go inside where it's dry. And I installed that wall yesterday and today. So that is the separation between the two sides, the storage shop side and the woodshed / storage side. That's the last of the metal that we need. And I cut out the bottoms on the doors. I'm getting ready to build the ramps that are going here. So I measured all that out today as well. And I have a nice dry place right now. It is absolutely awesome. Okay, let's see if I can go back and see some comments here. Might need to dry this off. Bear with me here, folks. I don't usually do this on a cell phone, but I just couldn't get a signal. And that's what happens when I try to wipe the screen off. Okay, let me scroll back through and see if I got some comments here. There's Joe. Okay, Beto is asking if Sam will participate in the live. Sam is gone. You'll find that out in the next video. So nothing untoward happened to him. I found a new home for him. I had to get rid of him. He was just way too aggressive. I actually kind of kick off next week's video with that, so there'll be no more of that screaming and yelling. Sam will not be joining another video on Sean in Alaska. Old school Alaska lottery is always a good option. Our Alaska state lottery that we have up here, it's kind of a unique one. It's different, much different than the California one that I was used to. They do a drawing every Sunday, but last week's drawing, I think the winner won $17 million, and that would have been an awesome thing to win. There was Joe saying hello to everybody. Excuse me, onions are onions. You're not an idiot, Sean, but if you can't learn from your mistakes, might be an issue. True, right? And I learned a lot. I learned that I probably should have started those onions a month earlier than I did inside, and I shouldn't have put so many seeds in each one of the containers. But it's the learning curve. I have onions. I grew onions. I harvested onions. Tonight I'm having my own potatoes with my own onions and some kielbasa for dinner tonight. A little bit of cheese on top. It's going to be yummy, yummy, yummy. Let's see where we're at here. John, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Hey, Sean, good to see you. Can't wait to see your potato harvest. That is not next week's video, but it'll probably come up in the week after. We'll see. I've had an issue when I got way ahead with my videos. Is I kind of got lost with some of the footage. So what I'm doing now is I'm just pulling all my footage up at once, creating a video for you in the same time frame and sending it out. This week was kind of nuts because normally what I do is I create the video. I record everything that I need, and then I start working on the video on Tuesday, and I finish it up on Wednesday, and then I upload it on Thursday, and then members get to see it the minute it's done being uploaded. Everybody else gets to see it on Friday when it releases at noon. So I got
way ahead of the game again last week. And Tuesday, I had the entire video edited and ready to go. And I realized after I got done that I had something that I was supposed to show you before that. So I actually have this week's video done last week, and the video that just came out on Friday was done last week too. So I don't even have to edit video this week. I'm ready to go. I can just upload it. But yeah, it's been kind of challenging. So the potato harvest will probably it'll be in the next 2 or 3 videos. Wild Mountain Rose, good evening to you as well. Yep. I still call you Joseph all the time, but I'm training myself, Joe. I'm training myself. It is, Karen. Karen was saying that's a nice spot for solar. And because the sun gets so low on the horizon here in the winter, when we see it at all, you really need to have a clear area of trees to be able to get enough power, enough solar to come in and power anything at all. Now, the 2 panels, I'm planning on putting 2 panels on top here. We'll walk out and I'll show you where those are going to go. I'm going to have 2 panels installed on top. That'll be my main solar for most of the year. And I'm going to do those 2 that are out there towards the flat area. We'll just call that the cleared area. And then I have the plan of, I already have 2 more solar panels, and I'm going to put them on the edge of this building. So all 4 across the front, they'll be laying flat on the building, and I'll be able to adjust them because I'll have them hinged. But for now, the 2 that are going to go above the big door here, and then the 2 that are going to be out in the flat are going to be the main source of power. I really only need 2 to top everything off for the 2 batteries that I have. But within the next week and a half, I will have 2 more of those batteries. So I will double my my power storage here at the cabin. Right now, I can go for a minimum of 7 days without getting any charge on those batteries at all. When I get the 2 new ones and add those to the system, I'll be able to go 14 days without having any power requirements whatsoever needed. And then, with the solar, that should extend it even in the winter a little bit, but I'll still probably have to run a generator. Everybody saying hi to everybody else. Yeah, Joseph, not used to a working tour. Well, Joe, I couldn't, I started the live and I couldn't keep the stupid thing connected inside the cabin. So I ended up having to do this just to be able to go live today. Excuse me saying nice shed. I wish you could help too, Joe, man. I wish you could help too. Charles Nanolin saying that looks great. Thank you, guys. Brenda saying looks nice. Old school Alaska, good looking shed. What materials am I using? Charles and Annalyn are asking, what materials am I using for the entry ramps? So those are going to be pressure treated wood because they are going to have ground contact. So I just thought I'd make the whole thing out of pressure treated. They're going to be at basically a 212 pitch, which means for every foot, they'll go up 2 inches. So they'll be a little on the long side, but they'll be gradual enough to where I can roll wheelbarrows and carts in here all winter long and not have to worry about slipping and sliding on the snow, trying to force stuff up. But yeah, they'll be pressure treated. They'll probably be 2x8, 3 2x8 boards going on the down, on the long, and then cross it off with 2x6s on top. Thank you, Marcus, saying great progress. Greatly appreciated. Beto, Sam will be missed. I don't mind. I never minded Sam crowing. That didn't bother me at all. What bothered me was he became insistent, on the crowing. He just wouldn't stop. And then if you went over anywhere near that fence, he would try and attack anybody who went near that fence. And I just said, I'm not going to deal with that. I talked to a couple of people and they said one of the ways to curb that. Now I tried all the methods of breaking his will without hurting him. And so I held him down till he basically gave up, and then picked him up and held him for long periods of time to try and get him to calm down around me. But a couple of people that raise chickens up here have told me you need 2 roosters because then they're more worried about the other rooster than they are about you, which makes a lot of sense. But I'm not going to play with roosters again this year. That's done. Brook Trout, welcome, my friend. Great to see you. Joining late from camp in the beautiful UP of Michigan. Very cool. The Upper Peninsula. Old school Alaska. I filmed 2 weeks of video in 2 days and then edit it as I go and fill in the days. That's kind of what I do. And the thing that gets me the most confused is, so the camera that I use records with one type of description on everything that I record. And then the cell phone does something completely different. And I have to try and remember, because I use the cell phone for some real close in shots and some other stuff. So I have to remember to incorporate all of it together. And if I put it in the wrong files, I'm going to have to come up with a different file system. If I put it in the wrong folders, then I miss stuff and I see it the next week and I'm like, I would have liked that. I really wanted that. John says, and you're putting fold-up ramps on the shed to keep them from shoveling, or to keep from shoveling. I'm not putting I was thinking of putting hinged ramps. But I think what I'm going to do instead is they're going to be standalone so that I can actually remove them, pull them up and move them, and get them out of the way when and if I need to, because I still want to gravel all the way around here, but that's not going to happen this year. So I don't want to install them and then have them not be, have them be permanent and then have to figure a way to take them out or shovel a bunch of gravel. So I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll put them in so that they stand alone and I won't have any frost heave issues with that at all then. Or the other option was I would put hinges on them so that if I did have an issue with, which I should have done with the stairs on the deck. If I have an issue with the frost heaves, like I did with my stairs, and I will have with my stairs on my deck again this year because I didn't fix that. If they're on hinges, the stress is taken off of it. That's the main thing. I don't mind shoveling a little snow. Misplaced Country Girl, you made it. Glad to see you. Alex B, it is awesome to see you, my friend. Nice job of the shed. Break a bottle of beer on it after drying it in. Kind of dried in right now, man. JD, how you been, my friend? I haven't heard from you in forever. It is awesome to see you. I hope you and the wife are doing well. JD's been following this channel from the very beginning, man. Awesome people. Oh, thank you very much. Excuse me. The thumbs up definitely helps. Keep it simple as I can. I just use the phone for everything, editing included. Oh, wow. Yeah, I used the phone in the beginning before I had a camera, before I bought the Canon. All my videos were done with the phone. And that was like an S10, I think, a Samsung S10. And I'm up to like the S23 now. And it's just because the camera. I absolutely love the Samsung cameras. They're incredible. A little snow. I've seen get feet of snow. I don't know. I don't think we're going to get that much snow. We'll see if that stays in the forecast because they're saying the high temperature is going to be 41 and the low temperature is going to be 31. And I don't know that we'll get a whole lot of snow with a 41-degree high. All right. What else was I going to show you? Oh, I just can't wait to get this whole yard cleaned up. So the siding is all finished there. The siding is all finished on the entire back of the cabin. There's no siding left to do here at all. And then the window is all sided except for the top gable ends. I will close that end in, and I will close this other end in, which is the same thing. So I'll get that closed in. I have the scaffolding set up outside this window because I'm going to need that to get up there and do the trim work on top. I'm really happy with how this roof worked out. Let's take you back outside again because the rain kind of. So here is the roof line on this side. If you can see it or not, right? I mean, it is like, let me get over here. It's like a quarter of an inch, maybe a quarter of an inch hanging over on that side. And that's before I put the trim on there. On this side over here, though, see if I can get up there so you can see it. I have there's about 2 inches of roof overhang there. So what I'm going to end up having to do is I've got those electric shears or the shears that connect to my drill. I'll run those all the way up and clean that all the way up to the edge. And then I can put that outside piece right there. I need to do that side and the other side. And then I could do the front. So I'll use the scaffolding. While I'm here, I'll use the scaffolding to finish that, clean up that roof, finish that trim, throw the siding, the plywood on the wall right there that's still open because that's the shop / storage room side. So I want that dried in for sure. And then I'll move the scaffolding to the other side and get that as well. Raquel, how are you doing today? Uh-oh, there we go. Thought I messed up. What else can I show you here? Yeah, this roof is going to be 100% finished, unlike the cabin. I still haven't finished the cabin roof yet. So yeah, I got the drip edge on the back. Oh, I don't know if it was in this week's video or if it was in the video that's going to come out next week. Oh, there's a screw. But I had a neighbor. I'm pretty sure I already told you guys. I had a neighbor that was giving away a whole bunch of gutter. So I have all that gutter sitting right there. That's 70 feet of gutter. There's a bag underneath the white canopy over here that's got all the end pieces and hangers and everything for them. So I'm actually going to put a gutter on this roof. And then I'm going to look at getting a IBC tote, and I'll probably put that down at this end. This is the cabin side end of the shed. So I'll put like I'll put the gutter up here, right? I'll have the gutter running here, and then I'll have the gutter line coming down into an IBC tote that'll be sitting right here for water storage. So it'd be nice just for showers and stuff like that, because I don't have a well yet. I'm hauling everything. Let me see if I got this going where I need it to be going. Gutter and water collection for the chickens in the garden. Yeah, I just answered that one, Jeff. What else? There's really not much I can show you as far as outside goes, other than the fact that it's just a mess. The main solar panels are those two solar panels right over there, and those pretty much top everything off for the system. These two right here are, when I get a clear day, and the sun comes around over here, they top off anything that the first two didn't, but they don't really see that much use. So these are the two that I'm gonna probably throw in the back of the truck, drive up Al's driveway, and put over there, and then I'll adjust them to their final upward position, because I have these drilled out. I don't know if you can see that or not, right? So it's drilled out for full summer. Right now it's in the fall and spring setting, and then there's one more position on here. It's like right up here. There it is, right there. And that will take me up to about 10 degrees on these panels, which is what I need for winter. Everything else has been going pretty darn good. I mean, I have no complaints at all about this build or anything. Get out of the way here. Really, really happy with how that's turning out so far. I have all the plywood to finish the siding here, so that's just 6 more sheets. And then I have actually 8. So I'll use 1 there, I'll use 1 on the other side, and then I have enough of the small stuff to fill in. One of the things I really, really like about this overhang, excuse the mess too, because it's a mess out here. One of the things I really, really like about this overhang is that it's big enough to store dry goods and keep them out of the rain. So yeah, I just picked up these plywood, dropped them here yesterday. Yesterday, and we've had all kinds of rain and still not a drop of rain on them. For everybody new into the live, since I started it today, I'll let you know that the reason why we're walking around outside is because I just couldn't get a good enough connection on the internet to get my laptop to keep working. It just kept disconnecting. So I figured I'd just take you guys for a quick tour. The next big project, like I said, is going to be a bedroom that's going to go right here. Probably about 12 feet wide. And it's going to be the full length of the cabin. It's going to be more than likely, say to that first sonotube there. From there back will be the new utility room. So that's where all the electrical is going to go, water, all that stuff is going to be right back there. And then from that second sonotube there, all the rest of the way forward will be bedroom. It's going to be a big bedroom. But if I go, it's 24 feet. So, if I go maybe 10 feet this way, by 12 feet wide, it will be roughly that storage room will be roughly the same size. It'll be the exact same size as this storage shed. This storage side is on the shed. Get back, take a peek at some more comments here. All right. Let's see what I got going. Trying to figure out if I can get this any bigger, and I just can't seem to get it any bigger. All right, I got that one from Joe. I'm going to flip the camera this way. The picture will be smaller, but I can read the comments better. Well, I shouldn't be frozen now. I think that was just Sean hit the wrong button. The next project, Raquel, after it won't be until spring. The first project of spring will be to get a greenhouse built. The second project will be the bedroom on the side. 6 more sheets to the wind, excuse me, saying. All right. I think I'm caught up on comments right now. Misplaced Country Girl says, love watching your videos. They're encouraging me to get out and work more. That's, I work a pretty physical job, Monday through Fridays. And it's crazy. When I get home, I want to be outside. I want to keep working on this building. And it just, I think that doing stuff like this, gives you purpose. I know it gives me purpose. And that to me is the most important thing is, we all have our 9 to 5s, whether they're 9 to 5 or 6 to 2 or whatever they happen to be. We all have our day grind that we have to go to. And so many people don't have anything to fill the outside gap. And this has allowed me, I look more forward to doing this than I do anything else. This is just an absolute blast to me. My beard looks like I grew up in a cave. Joseph, it's 80 degrees there, Joe says, and 46 overnight. Wow. Scroll back down, see if we got any more comments here. Not looking forward to pulling the rest of the garden soon. I wish, honestly, that our growing season was longer. Today I watched Simple Living Alaska's latest video. There's a couple of channels that I will watch every one of their videos without fail. And Woodness Goodness with Graham is one that I absolutely love. That guy's channel. I love watching him work. And then because he's doing everything by himself. And then Simple Living Alaska, because I think I followed them ever since they started up here in Alaska. And I've seen them progress to where they are today. But they were closing in a lot of their garden stuff, and they're a lot of work. And our season is so short here that there's only certain things that you can really count on planting and getting a harvest from. So you do every trick you can to extend it. And I have to learn all those tricks now. So that's kind of where I'm at. I absolutely love growing things. I just, I need to get my green thumb back in gear. And I got too many things, my dad used to say, you got too many irons in the fire, kid. You got too many things going on at once. And I need to teach myself to start a project and finish a project. So that's why I'm really trying to make sure I have everything on this shed that I need to have on this shed before it's done. So that I know when I'm finished that I'm finished with the whole exterior. It won't have siding. It'll have that sheet good siding on it, but I won't do the finished siding on it yet until I finish the bedroom extension I'm going to do on the cabin. And that's why I haven't finished the siding on this, is because I knew I was going to do that bedroom. And it doesn't make any sense to side the whole place or side the place and then side it again, when I add that building. So I'm going to do it all at once, and everything's going to match. And I already have the vision in my head of what it's going to look like. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. I do have a hydroponics inside. That's nice, Misplaced. That's very cool. I don't know that I will ever get there. So here's what my plan is for the shed. I'm going to keep growing stuff inside. Old school Alaska. I can relate to too many unfinished projects, right? I know, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's because you're always excited to start the next one. And for me, that's how I am. The cabin, I don't know when I'm going to finish the interior. there's no hurry, there's no rush. I mean, I'm the guy that lives in it, and I live by myself, so I'll get bored with it eventually, and then I'll say, okay, I'm going to do the ceiling, right, and then I'll start at the top and work my way down. So the plan for the shed is the left side, like I had told you originally, is going to be for firewood storage, and I'm lucky if I burn 2 cords of firewood a year, but I'm not home all the time. So eventually I'm going to need more firewood storage. And I figure calculating out that square footage, I can get 5 cords in there pretty easily. And I don't think in this little cabin I'll ever need more than that. I'll be lucky to burn 3 of the 5 every year. That's what I think. The right side, I call it storage and shop. I'm gonna I've got a bunch of plans for what I want to do out there. So the solar panels are going to come. Oh, let me spin that around real quick too, and I'll show you. Get over to this way. All right. So the solar panels are going to go right across the top here. Below the eave on the top, it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I measured them out. They're 40 with the frames that they're in now, they're 44 inches. So I'm just going to mount those frames up on there all the way across. And I'm going to bring the wiring in to the inside and then over to this corner and then down. And I've got some plastic tubing that I'm going to bury in the ground that's going to run to the corner of this deck. And then I'll run power back out to it. I'd like to put a stand-up freezer in that storage shed. And the reason why I want to do a stand-up freezer in there is because chest freezers are a pain in the neck to ever find anything. So unless I'm going to have a chest freezer that's like dedicated to, say, all vegetables, it doesn't make any sense to have a chest freezer. For me, stand-up freezer is easy to open the door, reach in, and grab what you want. Chest freezers are much more efficient, but the only time I have to worry about power is basically from the middle of October to the end of October until March. So then power gets to be challenging because of the sun being so low on the horizon. So even when we have clear days, it's tough to get enough solar energy on those panels to charge my system up. But if I have a freezer out here in the shed, what I'm going to end up with is an area that the freezer will be in that in the winter, when it's 20 below out, it won't require much power at all to keep it cold. So that's kind of my thought for putting it outside and putting it in the sheds, in the storage room, is because when it's 20 degrees below zero and this building is not insulated and not heated, it will require almost no electricity to run in the winter, which is the only time of the year that I have to worry about it. Now, in the summer, sure, it gets a bit warmer out here than it gets in the cabin, but I have no challenges for power at all on my solar panels in the summertime. So yeah, that's kind of my plan. Flip this back up so I can answer some more comments. Back here. I'm just scrolling back right now to see where I'm at. I'm not scroll back too far. Old School Alaska says, I keep it as simple as I can. I just use the phone for everything, editing included. Josh Norbert, what's happening, my friend? Evening, Sean and all. Hope all is well. It's fantastic, man. Other than the fact I can't get internet worth a darn right now. Scrolling through some more. I got that. Misplaced country girl living in an apartment. I'm lucky to even be allowed your garden. It's tough. Apartment living and gardening is tough because I used to do containers when I lived in a condo complex. I do containers on my deck, and even then it was kind of difficult. You had to keep everything pretty much toned down, or else you'd get comments from the management. Old School Alaska, I can relate to too many unfinished projects. Big time, yeah, right. Paul Harley, welcome, my friend. Glad to see you. When I have a chance, check out Cabin River Outdoors. He's off-grid down in BC. I will. I'll check him out. I like, obviously, I like the off-grid channels because I live off-grid, and I get so many ideas from some of these off-gridders. It's just incredible. I need all the advice I can get. How many days would it take to build this shed working full-time for 1.5 folks? So it was funny because somebody was asking me the other day, it might have been one of my kids, because because even though my kids live in California, we talk 3 or 4 times a week. We video chat 3 or 4 times a week. We're real tight. It might have been one of my kids. I think it was my daughter Ashley that said, "Dad, how long would it take you to build that if all you did was build it?" And knowing how much time I have in this right now, I took 1 week of vacation and got all of the walls and rafters up in that 1 week, and that was only actually in 4 days. So probably a week and a half to 2 weeks at the most, I could have had this entire structure built if I didn't have to go to work. Uh, it would have taken me about 2 weeks to get this done, which is just amazing to me because when I started, it was going to take a lot longer to build an outhouse than it did to build this. Misplaced country girl. Someday, me and my daughters will have a homestead, but until then, it's just me and your garden. Yep, awesome. You got to have that, right? You got to have something to look forward to because why else do we live if we don't have something to look forward to? Misplaced country girl bought a stand-up freezer. John, what's happening, my friend? You're right about finishing projects, but your season is actually longer because your days are longer in the summer, and Alaska gets world record-sized produce because of that. This is true, but like stuff like tomatoes and a lot of peppers and stuff, you can't grow. I'm gonna walk inside because it's raining on me out here right now. You can't grow outside here. You can try. They have a few varieties that might make it, but generally speaking, you can't grow those items because they won't set fruit. And that's the biggest issue right there. I'm gonna close this computer down. Just wasting power with leaving it on and shut down. So that's the biggest issue, John. But we do have more hours to get more work done. But I don't want to be working 20 hours a day. I mean, I wouldn't mind working 20 hours a day if I knew that, okay, this year I'm doing, okay, I'm going to use, again, I'll use Simple Living Alaska, Eric and Ariel for an example. All right. They do some huge projects, but they bust their butts to get those projects done. And then they have a whole bunch of free time to get all the fun stuff done. And that's where I want to be. But I still have to go to work every day. So soon, I'm gonna pull the trigger on that work thing, on that 4-letter word of work here pretty soon, I think. And then I will have much more time to get the stuff done I want to do as opposed to the stuff done I have to do. Oh, Barbara's saying good place for the solar panels. Thank you. Yeah, and Todd was even saying, my neighbor Todd, the dirt fairy, the roof fairy, whatever. Todd's always whatever fairy I need that day is Todd. When I pointed out where I was going to put him, he looked at it and the sun was just blasting the top of that, and he goes, "Dude, that's a great spot." Excuse me, says Sean. I think Sean, you've surpassed your own expectations at this point. So my next question is, do I feel I get enough rest? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I get all the rest I really want. I sleep good every night. I hate when the alarm goes off in the morning. But so for those that don't know, I work Monday through Friday. I have weekends off, but I start work at 4 a.m. and I work until noon every day, which is an awesome, awesome, beautiful schedule. I absolutely love that. But I wake up at the latest I wake up is 2:45 in the morning. The alarm goes off. I'm up at 2:45 so that I can be to work by 4 a.m. Because I don't like just getting up and going right to work. I want to veg out a bit. I might answer a comment here or there, scroll a little bit of what's going on in the world. But so Friday night, now it's getting darker. Friday night, I'm like, I'm going to bed, man. It's late. It was 8:30. And I don't set an alarm for my days off. 4 o'clock in the morning, I wake up. I'm up. I'm up for the rest of the day. This morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm up for the rest of the day. So I get plenty of rest. I'm not worried about that. My biggest thing is that my body does not want to participate anymore. So, I've noticed myself over the last 5 years that, where I would not even hesitate to lift up huge amounts of weight by myself at a time. Now I'm like, oh, easy, don't hurt that back. or I hurt a lot more for the next couple of days. So yeah, that's the hardest part for me. Yeah, right. Misplaced country girl talking about raised beds. I love raised beds. They're awesome. They are a blast. I love them. Daisy just visited our daughter in Homer last week. We are from North Carolina. What a haul. We waved to you as we drove from Anchorage to Homer when she first moved a year and a half ago. Homer's beautiful. I love it. Yeah, so you can't, unless you fly into Homer, you can't get to Homer without going past me. So, yeah, that's awesome. That's a gorgeous area. Misplaced country girl. Yeah, me and my daughters talk 4 to 5 times a week with me and my son in Kentucky and daughters in Nebraska. I'm a family guy, even though I don't have any family anywhere near me. But I have to do what I want to do, and they have to do what they want to do, and it makes they knew I loved it here. They knew I wanted to be here, even when I left the first time and went back down, to help take care of my daughters as they were growing up. Um, that was a time I needed to be there, but they've got their families of their own now. So, if they can get up here and see me, that's awesome. When they can't, we just video chat and we have a blast. Joe, I'm currently looking forward to ice cream. Oh, misplaced country girl, your daughters are moving there in May to June of next year. Very cool. When she first moved to Homer, this is Daisy, 1.5 years ago, we found you to see what it was like to live in Alaska. Very cool. I appreciate that. I love it up here. I'm not a great example of what it's like to live in Alaska, other than showing you what the prices are and that kind of stuff. When I'm in town, because I live a different lifestyle. My youngest daughter comes up now every year. She came up 2 years ago for the first time. She came up last year. My granddaughter, and the TV is rarely on. The electricity is not something that I really need in my life anymore. Not that much. And yeah, I live a different lifestyle here. And there are quite a few people in Alaska who still live this lifestyle, and there are people who live it even rougher than I do. That have to take a train to get home. Robert is who I'm talking about. Curmudgeon. In order for him, he just did his shopping for the entire winter at Costco, had it all brought in and let off at the train station, and he won't go to town again now till spring. So yeah, there's a lot rougher people, a lot people who have it a lot rougher than I do. Ravenous Jim, what's up? Finally catching Sean live. Hello from Kentucky. It is awesome to see you, my friend. Joe, June 28th, 2026 is your retirement date. I'm coming to visit you then to Florida, and you can come visit me. You come see me in the summer, I'll come see you in the winter. Sounds like a great plan. Michael, when I retired, I found myself working more. You don't simply retire, but you work. Just now, it's your pace. And there's a lot to be said about that. So growing up as a younger guy, and I've worked in the grocery industry for quite a few years, so I've known a lot of people who've retired from my industry, and within a year or two, they passed away. And I honestly believe that it's because they had nothing in their life to keep them going. And believe I don't have that problem. I have so much to keep me going. It is absolutely insane. So I'll be working even harder when I am not working any longer than I do right now. But it'll all be doing stuff that, like Michael said, that I absolutely enjoy, and it'll be at my pace. I have future plans here for the property. I have the cabin, or the bedroom to add on right behind me here. It's going to be on that wall. And then basically the main cabin itself will be done. I'm going to build the greenhouse in the spring. I want to build a huge garden, a much bigger garden than I have right now. And I want to add 2 more cabins to the property, but they'll be smaller cabins, maybe 20 by 20 or 20 by 16. And the reason why I want to add 2 is because I have 2 daughters and they have families. And what I told them was, I'll build the entire shell of the cabin, right? So you'll always have a place to stay when you come up here, but you have to do the inside. You have to make it your own on the inside. So as far as building goes, those are and then the big outdoor kitchen, but that's 100% for me. But I mean, I have enough projects probably to keep me busy till I'm 70, and then I'll have to just do nothing but fish and hunt after that, right? Old school Alaska. I love the 5 to 1 shift, but I'm on 7 to 3 with 4 days off per month. That's a lot of work, my friend. That's a lot of work. Yeah, I do the 4 to noons. I absolutely love them. I've done 5 to 1s. They're not bad either. You get to sleep a little bit later, but there's just something about getting off that early and having the rest of the day to do stuff, or not do stuff. Just enjoy the rest of the day. Renee saying that's why my kids are worried about too far away dreams time. Yep. Penny saying, I loved Alaska. If I were younger and not alone, I would definitely head up there. I mean, I'm 63. I moved up here when I was 50. It just took a while to get started when I got up here because I was pretty broke. And I wanted to do everything that I could with cash as opposed to, going into debt and a mortgage and all that. It's the reason why I'm off grid is because I didn't want a monthly bill as far as electrical went and that stuff. I didn't want to have to deal with that. But it's never too late. If you really want to do something, you just do it. I used to start all my videos with like a motivational quote. And a lot of times those motivational quotes were more for me than they were for anyone else. And I saw one that just still to this day, it's locked into my head. And it said, it's just, it's just like 5 words, one day or day one. So you can keep saying, one day I'd like to do this, or one day I'd like to do that. Or you could say, today is day one of doing that. And believe me, you'll never, ever regret picking day one over one day. I guarantee that. Joe, that's the plan. I like it when a plan comes together. Nice. Old School Alaska. Rob and Sarah are great people, a beautiful place. The people working on the train system are amazing. I still have to get out yet to see Rob and Sarah. I've met them. They were down here last summer, not this summer that just passed, but the summer before, dip netting with friends. And Rob came in to the grocery store, and I got a chance to meet him. What a great guy! What an incredibly great guy. But I mean, he invited me to come up and check it out, and I just haven't had the time. And that's one of the reasons why I really am getting close to pulling the trigger on work, is because there's so many people I want to see and things I want to do up here, and work just gets in the way. Excuse me, says, hey Sean, have the trail cams been working all right for you, or too much work? They are. I have them set up. To be honest with you, I probably should go pull the card. I don't know how many pictures I'm going to have in there. It's probably full by now. It's just since Mama Moose and the baby moose quit coming by and jumping in there, I really haven't paid attention to it. But I recorded on my cell phone yesterday, driving to Home Depot to pick up the plywood for the siding and stuff. As I was going to town, this massive bull moose was running down the side of the road, and I got him on video, and that'll be coming up in a video. But he was huge. The antlers on that thing was just massive. I agree. Debt free, old school Alaska saying debt free is an awesome way to live, and that's exactly. I have credit cards, but I pay them down. I pay them off. Um, I took a personal loan out to do some extra stuff that I needed to do, and got that paid down. So yeah, I would much rather be debt. I will never put myself in a position again, because I've done it in the past, and I think a lot of people have, where I'm struggling from paycheck to paycheck. I don't do that anymore. When I want to eat steak, I go to the store and I buy a steak. If I want to eat hamburger, or I want to eat sandwiches, then I just eat sandwiches. But I don't. It's not because I can't. It's because every decision I make is based on what I want, and that is the most awesome thing in the world. You'll be 66 when you get there in May. Very cool, Renee. Very cool. CB. Shoot, I forgot what day it was. Hi. What's happening, CB? Joe says, I've been called the king of cash. Credit debt makes rich people richer. When I discovered the problem, it was easy to resolve. My kids, so I'll tell you a funny story, because when I moved from Alaska originally back to California, um, to be closer to my daughters, that was the reason why I said I had to get out of Alaska. I had to get down to be part of their life when they were growing up. And my head was not in the right place when I left and moved up here the first time. And it was the right thing for me to do, to move up here. But it was even more right for me to move back. So I'll never forget, because we had this little bitty TV set, and we went to Walmart. Walmart had just opened up in the town where they were living, and I was living maybe 40 miles away in another town. And I was picking them up for the weekend, and I said, "Hey, girls, you guys want a real TV?" And they said, "Can we get one, Dad?" And I go, "Sure." So we stopped off at Walmart. We go to get the TV. I bring it up to the counter. I reach in my pocket. I pull out cash, and I pay for it. So my kids told me later on in life that they thought that I was rich when they were younger, because I never had to use a credit card for anything. I just had cash in my pocket. And my oldest one said, I didn't realize till we were older that you had cash in your pocket because you couldn't get a credit card, because my credit was so messed up. It was terrible. And I told them that's the truth. And I said, and I taught myself to live on cash. And what a great lesson to learn. So yeah, I just always think of that story. I think it's super neat. Chris says he enjoyed it up here when he was there 2 years ago. Very cool. Very cool. I think I'm all caught up on the comments right now, as usual, and we're almost at the end of an hour. We'll go a couple of minutes longer because we had an issue in the beginning. If you guys got any questions, I feel more than happy to answer them for you. If I can't, or you're watching this live video at a later time, and you had a question, leave it down below in the comments. And if I can't answer it, I can usually point you in the direction of somebody who can. But yeah, it's awesome hanging out with you guys. And like I said, I don't guarantee that I'm going to be doing this every weekend. because as I have dry weather, I have stuff I need to get done outside. But if we have lousy weather, then I definitely will. And then, of course, when the snows start to fly, I'll be live every weekend again, Sundays at 3 p.m. Alaska time. And I look forward to carrying on the Christmas tree picture tradition that I started on here that I think is super, super awesome, where I post people's Christmas trees on the channel, which I absolutely love. Christmas is my favorite holiday. Excuse me saying, what's for dinner? I think I discussed that already, but I'm doing homegrown potatoes, homegrown onions, kielbasa, fried up in a skillet, topped off with a little bit of cheese. It's going to be delicious, my friend. It's going to be delicious. Outdoors, outdoor. How's the dating in Alaska? The odds are good that the goods are odd. That's the best thing I can tell you. I don't know. I'm single. I don't really date right now or anything. So, you know, for guys my age, I don't think it's that great. If I was 30, it would be pretty awesome. CB, Sean, I Facebook you a couple of pics of your view today. Okay, I'll definitely check it out. Thank you very much. I do have a Facebook group. If you guys want to follow it, I don't post nearly enough on there. I try and always post 1 or 2 pictures a week on my community tab, just to kind of let you know where things are at. And like I said, members get it by no stretch of the imagination do I think anybody should become a member if they can't afford it or they don't want to. But anybody who has chosen to become a member, I greatly appreciate it. So like I said, they get early access to the video. From the minute it's uploaded, they can watch it from that point forward. Then everybody else can see it on Friday. And then I like the roof pics, the members of the channel already knew about that like a week ago, because I did share a pic for members only in the community tab. But other than that, everybody gets to see everything eventually here. Laurel, it is awesome to see you in Wisconsin. Very glad you could pop in. Joe, awesome show and great live again. Have a good night. Thank you, my friend Smiley. Slant brother, how are you? It is awesome to see you. Alex B sent you a fruit tea. Very tasty with honey and good before bed. Yummy, yummy. I've got, I think it was you, Alex, that sent me the whole box of Twining tea, and I usually opened every one of my lives last week or last year, sipping on one of those, and they were delicious, man. They were awesome. Rebel Canners, awesome. If you come to Alaska, you will never go home. Alaska's weird, right? You either absolutely love it and never want to leave, or you absolutely hate it and can't get out fast enough. There is nobody who is in the middle with Alaska. There really isn't. Looks like we're getting to the end here. Craig, what's happening, brother? Awesome to see you. Good afternoon, neighbor. And the shed is looking amazing. Thank you. So yeah, this was not the live that I had intended it to be, but I think it worked out pretty cool because for those of you that hung out and saw it, you actually saw where I'm at right now with the build, which is like 4 or 5 videos ahead of what everybody else has seen so far. I'm very pleased with the progress of this. I couldn't ask for it to go any better than it has. And it hasn't driven me insane. Yesterday was pretty close. I almost snapped yesterday, putting at that stupid middle wall. I had to walk away and stop for the day. But I mean, like, figuring this stuff out to me has been 99.9% of the fun. How do I do that when I'm by myself? How do I do that when I screwed that up. So how do I fix that without having to tear everything apart to fix it? I absolutely adore that. With that said, guys, I think I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get dinner started. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching the videos, for the thumbs up, for the constant comments, for the support, for the encouragement. I greatly appreciate it all. I am Sean in Alaska, and I hope you have an absolutely fantastic week. We will catch you again on Friday with a new video. That video is starting the siding. It'll probably have some other stuff in there too. I forget what I actually had in there when I edited it. But yeah, we'll catch you on Friday. Have a great week, you guys. Thank you as always for the support. I'm out of here.